Therapy. I'm here with Hondo Handy.
Therapy.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hondo, a lot of people know Hondo from Ocean City. He's been around here for, I don't know how many years.
At least I've worked at Parks and Rec for 40 years.
For 40 years.
Before that, I was, I attended Stephen Decatur High School, so that's local also. Of course, Salisbury State College, now Salisbury University. So I do know a lot of people here on East Shore.
Oh, yeah. He's a two-time Citizen of the Year for Ocean City, Maryland. He received the governor's citation from 4 governors. Let's see, he's received it from Paris Glendenning, Ehrlich, Martin O'Malley, and Larry Hogan. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
He's the author of Defying Expectations, which is a great book. I advise everyone to go get it on Amazon. They have it in local
bookstores.
Local bookstores also.
Yes.
He's also the host of a Swell podcast. Is it called Swell? For youth sports and good sportsmanship. And like he said, he was recreation manager for Ocean City Parks and Rec and Parks. He was also the commencement speaker for my son's graduation at Decatur for 2021. Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. That was a great speech.
Thank you so very much.
So yeah, it was good. So looking through your book, I saw you grew up in Bishop, Maryland.
In Bishop.
Which used to be Bishopville, or is Bishopville now?
Bishopville now.
So what was it like growing up there?
Well, the area where I grew up, I was talking to a gentleman the other day. The area where I grew up, one of the worst things was that there was this really smelly plant around that area. And I always said, because when we never had running water at my mother's house, so we had to have a pump, and we pumped that water. If my mother didn't boil that water, it would turn orange and stain the clothes that we had when she washed it. And I always said that smelly plant over there was seeking polluted water underground, and that's the kind of water that everyone in our area were growing up. I knew that there was something wrong with that water, and it was part of that water because my friend lived directly in front of that smelly plant. And we'd go over there, instead of seeing the regular small frogs, the frogs were gigantic. So I said, these frogs are on steroids. You never see them with the biggest frogs ever. I'm like, we're getting polluted every day there. But, growing up in Bishop, it was a place where there was one store. It was called Clarence Hammond Store. If you go in there now, the road is still Hammond Road. The name of the store was after the owner, Clarence Hammond.
Oh, wow.
And right now, that's the area where, if you go up to Bishop, that the brand new batting facility there for youth baseball. But that's where it was located. And, my mother never had a car. So back then, it's so much safer. We could thumb everywhere. But can't do that anymore because it's not safe. But we made it.
And I saw you used to run a lot everywhere. In your book, it says you ran everywhere.
Used to run everywhere, especially I ran behind my cousins who were basically 6 years older than me, because I was the only son, and wherever they went, we never had cars. We didn't have cars, so we wanted to run from Bishop to Somerville to the store. Instead of walking, my cousin would run, and I'd run behind them, and I could see them, but they'd be almost out of sight.
Because you were younger?
But yes, but I kept running and, did those things like walking on the railroad tracks up in Bishop. We tried to walk on the railroad track from Bishop all the way to Somerville. Who fell off the track the last? That was the goal, So I ran behind my cousins a lot. And but I fell in love with the game of basketball from my uncles, and that stayed with me for a long while. And then I got a chance to see my cousin, which I call my brother, because I was always over to his house also, who played for Worcester High School, which is now where the Board of Education is, hires today.
Okay.
That was an all-black high school. My entire family went to that school, and all my cousins they assumed that I was going to go to Worcester High School. Also, that's like 40-some minutes away,
Yeah.
all the way down to Newark instead of going to Stephen Decatur. But in the 6th grade, we got the opportunity. Well, we got information that said, which you saw me talk about in the graduation speech, that in the next few years, all the schools in this county are going to be integrated. So basically, here's your opportunity to go to Stephen Decatur early. And myself and a few of my friends, including Oliver Purnell, who became the head coach at Clemson University, and Ron Dixon, who became a decorated state police, we decided to go to Stephen Decatur and become one of the first 6 African Americans at the high school. They came directly after Flower Street Elementary, which was where Head Start is here in Berlin, was my elementary school.
So what was it like going to Decatur at that time?
Well, it was definitely a challenge, but I didn't feel that way. I just felt like I was going to school. But once I got to school, elementary where we were at, it was different, because I saw those 2 friends I'm talking about every day. So now we decided to go to Stephen Decatur, and we get to Stephen Decatur, and it's our first experience with. I would say back then, the high schools in this area, all of them were 7th grade to 12th grade. That was a high school.
Oh.
7th grade to 12th grade.
Oh, really?
So no Stephen Decatur Middle School like it is today for 7th and 8th graders. It was 7th grade to 12th grade. And, basically, when we had our classes, I'm thinking I'm going to see my friends, and I probably never got a chance to see them until the end of the day when the bell rang.
Oh, wow.
And I feeling like I was in the school all by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was a little discouragement. As you probably heard me say, I asked my mom about it, that I'm not sure if I made the right decision to come to Decatur, because I don't get to see my friends and everything. But she said, you remember when you brought the information home, and she asked me. Clearly, I remember asking me if I was sure, and before she signed it, and she signed it, and then she said, "Well, you made a commitment to that school, and you must honor that commitment." I guess that's when kids listen to the parents, because I just said okay. And but the best thing was the basketball coach that we had because Ron, my other teammate, a friend, his brother plays basketball for Worcester High School at the time, and so we were at Stephen Decatur, and his brothers are playing for Worcester, and my cousin was playing for Worcester, so we got a chance to go down and see them play, and the coach, Ward Lambert, found out that we all loved basketball, but of course you couldn't play basketball until you got in 9th grade. So he encouraged us to be managers for a couple of years and learn the game of basketball, because basically we right across the street, all over there, all we did was play on dirt courts. Meaning
I saw that in your book.
We would go in the woods, chop down a tree, find a board, nail that board to find a rim if we could find it. Otherwise, it's a small bicycle wheel, and take the spokes out, and that was our basketball court. So that was like the first time we got a chance to play on a real basketball court at Stephen Decatur. So we got a chance to actually learn the game. Not, we didn't really know the rules. We were playing, to learn the dribble, because we were dribbling on dirt courts. When you took a dribble, because it's uneven, the next ball would be over here. So around. Now we're on a real regular court as managers, and get the chance to practice a little bit before the teams come in, and coach giving us some partners, and took a long while. I remember him saying, one drill he would give us is, okay, I want you half court, mid court, dribble. Let me look at you, dribble the ball up, and see how you improve, and make a layup. So we're dribbling from half court, and he said, one of you go and rebound while the other one shoots. So when my turn came, I remember he said, well, you don't have to have a rebounder for Hondo, because when he dribbles the ball up and puts it up, he's gonna lay it up so hard it's gonna come all the way back to half court anyway. So you don't have to. And it did. I could not figure out if I'm dribbling that ball so fast how to lay it up soft without laying up as fast as I was going out. Boom! So it took me a while to learn how to shoot a layup.
That was like my weekness for sure. Like if I had a fast break, I'd get so nervous. I'd go so fast, and it very seldom went in. I would just go so fast and bounce off so hard. So did you ever play against your friend? Like what? Like when you were on the basketball team, did you play against Worcester High School?
Well, we knew a lot of the kids because my father lived down here to Berlin on Branch Street. So I knew a lot of guys that went to Worcester, you know. As a matter of fact, Calvin Skinner, who I was talking to the other day, and just won an Emmy for a video that did about him.
Oh, wow.
And we're hoping that it gets, you know, made to a movie, just won an Emmy. And he was on Worcester's team. He went to the NBA, the Seattle Supersonics. And we tried to get him to come to Steve Decatur his last year, but he didn't come. And we won the state championship, and Worcester loses to Chrisville, and he don't get to go.
Oh.
So it was sad. We were sad for him. But yeah, I got to get a chance to play. On the weekend, I play against all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, when we get a chance to play Worcester High School, we kind of knew some of those guys, how they played, and they knew how we played. You know.
Do you talk to any of the people that were on that team with you?
Nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah. They were a pretty good school. Except if you read my book, in my book there, Defying Expectations, Coach Lambert was such a great coach. I always said, their starting five and we were short. Their starting five and our starting five, we played each one of us one-on-one, they would probably win every time. But Coach Lambert had a system where we just were, you know, we had this press that we did, and we beat them by 40-some points each time.
Is this when you were at Decatur still?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot that Lambert coached there.
Yeah, he coached there. I was lucky. I got an opportunity to play for Coach Lambert at Steve Decatur, and then I got a chance to play with him at Salisbury. Mm-hmm. After we won the state championship, I always said they stole it because we were in the 11th grade. Then we had to get a new coach, Coach Howard Reynolds, and we went back to the state championship, but we lost in the last quarter.
Oh, man.
We would have been two-time state champion with the league.
So what position did you play?
I played guard. We had three guards: Oliver Purnell, Ron Dixon, and myself. So we were interchangeable. So that was a good thing too.
What about so obviously you did a lot of things outside, you know, growing up playing sports, playing basketball, running. What's your opinion of all the electronics these days with children?
Well, I think. Well, because we never had it, my wife and I decided at the end that we weren't going to have any children because I was never home to say, you got all those kids at the rec center, you're never going to be home. I'm like, you know what, you're right. So we never had any kids. So my opinion's probably different than most parents because when I grew up, and probably you, they were telling us to get outside. You couldn't even stay in the house. They'd make you go outside until that lights come on or it gets a little bit dark. You gotta get yourself home then. But you know, kids with electronics today, you know, they could be out, and the way the world is now, they could be out. We just never had super troubles, but they could be out getting in really bad trouble out in the streets or where, you know, when you're not looking at them and they're outside with different friends that you don't even know about. So my thoughts might be a little different because if they're in the bedroom, they're home. You know they're home. You don't have to worry about them. It's the biggest babysitter that you can have. And you'll be wondering, where's my child? In the room, like, oh. You know, you don't have to worry about it. You can babysit the whole community. As long as you got some electronics in there. You don't have to worry about them running all over the place because they just want to be, and then usually that they're on electronics, they're on there with 10 friends around the community talking to each other at the same time. So I don't know, and it's so educational. Now they couldn't get in trouble on computers, so we've seen that before. But I guess my feelings are a little different.
I understand.
Just gotta try to monitor you as a parent. You gotta learn them how to monitor what they're looking at. But
yeah, it's kind of like a free babysitter.
It's like a free babysitter. I'll tell you, it's so much. It's like when I was somewhere the other day and talking about marriage, and said, when you're married and you have problems, you should be thinking about divorce because it's cheaper to keep her. And I'm saying, and that's another thing for you having to do something for a babysitter or babysitters. It's cheaper to keep them home. You don't have to send them to babysitter because they can just stay in that room and just relax. They might not even get out of bed.
Right. That's a problem sometimes, but yeah, I understand. How about, so in the book it talks about you were, one of your jobs was picking blueberries.
Oh, I love blueberries.
You love blueberries. You still love them.
I love them. Yeah, I grew up, there's another babysitter thing. When we grew up, parents, mothers would seemed like their whole family, they got 3 or 4 kids or whatever, they take mothers would take all of them to the blueberry field. And it probably couldn't be done today because it seemed like we were right there like 8 hours picking. And we were picking, and then we were running around having fun while, parents were still picking. And eating blueberries, we just having the ball. I couldn't wait because, there were no jobs, so it was a chance for me to make a little bit of money and of my own. And and before that, my mother had told me that that my birthmark was a blueberry. and this little mark here on my
I saw that, yeah.
And I just love blueberries. I love picking them. I love eating them raw. I don't like them. No blueberry pies or nothing like that. Yeah, my first job outside of blueberry picking was at the Lackawanna restaurant in Ocean City.
Lackawanna?
Lackawanna. It's gone now.
What street was that on?
When you come into Ocean City, come across the bridge and the little 7-Eleven now is getting replaced.
Yeah.
And you come in and OC Baptist Church is there, you make your left turn. It was like 2 blocks up there. Mm. And that was the first job I had outside of Ocean City. I was a dishwasher. And the first job I quit. Man, it was an experience. My friend and I, next door neighbor, got a job there. And right around the corner, about 2 blocks away, we had some rooms, we could stay down there. And they were like $5 a day.
Oh, wow.
But it seemed like cheap. But that was probably half my paycheck back then. But still, we made a little money. But that was the first experience being away from home. Mom didn't really like it.
Yeah, I bet.
But, we live and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So what changes have you seen in youth sports now as things are changing? Well,
being in the recreation profession, we always promoted, trying to promote the vast group of kids, meaning if there's 100 kids that come into the rec center, we encourage them to play together and do all this. But now their competitiveness and competition has gotten into it. So what happens are those 100 kids, maybe 10 of them end up being on a travel team.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I said it's okay to single out those 10 kids. A lot of people didn't like it at the beginning because they do have exceptional talent. So even with when they're 100 kids, they could create problems because they play with these 100 kids, and you got 5 kids out there playing basketball, and the one kid that's really exceptional on the team, drafted #1, as you say, he gets frustrated because the other 4 can't even catch the ball when he passes it. That would have been an assist for me. You couldn't even catch it. Oh my God, I hate this team. So that's why I say it's okay to have travel teams, and if they have exceptional talent and everything. The only thing I kind of feel bad about is some there's other reasons for the travel teams. You know, they're hoping eventually to get seen. If you go into one of those coaches tournaments where coaches are available from colleges to look at you as you get older, and it gives you an opportunity to play against other talent, which is also good for you. But it's so expensive for parents.
Oh yeah, travel sports can cost like $10,000 a year.
It's so expensive. You got a budget for that. Otherwise, you know. But the one problem that we have here and around is, you know, sometimes a really talented kid that's here out of those 100 doesn't get to go because he can't afford it. So he can't afford it. He's the best out of the 100 kids, but is home with a job in Ocean City working because he can't go with those kids because he can't afford it. And then I guess the other thing is some parents may have their kids playing, but they're not really that talented, but they can afford it.
Oh yeah.
So you know, so I think that happens a lot. But his friends playing, so I can afford to play, so he can play. So that I think that happens too. So there are other reasons why our kids are playing rather than talent.
Yeah, I saw that with my boys growing up. You know, somewhere like going there, like there's always a couple that are really good, and then a couple that are just trying to, you know, there's a big social aspect too.
Right.
You know, just getting used to being on a team itself is a learning experience. You know, there's different coaches.
Right. Coaches act different. You can't try to. You know, you asked to be on this team because he probably lays out how he is before you start. It's a little different from the 100 player you're playing with at the rec center. And those coaches are trying to, you know, encourage you, and they're like, if you can't play, you shouldn't even be on this team.
Yeah.
So they're coming at you in a different way. So parents have to be aware of that. And it's not the same.
Yeah. No. So what's your opinion of like NIL money for college and now apparently I didn't realize it's in high school. So
right. Well, one of my friends is involved in that. Matter of fact, he's Dean of Athletics at Westcliff University in California.
Oh yeah,
and he's involved in NIL, and he says that. You know, it's spreading. I mean, it's an opportunity. I thought when it first started, it was good because colleges have been making money off these poor kids, man, all kinds of money. They can't even get $10. If they get $10, they could get in trouble for going to McDonald's. Somebody gave them $10. What are you talking about? You just made $1,000 that they gave or more a few minutes ago. Now I get $10 from my uncle, and you're gonna try to, you know, suspend me for a game. So I think it's a good. What's funny is you see that companies or businesses, I don't know what's called, sponsor or sign a contract with an athlete, and it's for so much money. And you're like, wait a minute. Was the colleges getting all this much money because of me?
Yeah.
Because this business over here is giving me all this money. So you just keep wondering, how are the companies giving them all this money? And is it hurting the colleges? The worst thing about it is not just NIL, it's that they had that transfer portal.
Yeah.
So now the colleges can say, I guess they may be changing it. They can say, "Oh, what did you get at that college? $1,000? Well, we can give you 10,000 if you come to my school." Well, the kid's gonna say, "I'm gone."
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing about it, because kids used to stay for 4 years and at least 3 years, and maybe if they're that good, get drafted or something like that. Now they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get drafted anyway. I'm not gonna get this money while I am playing."
Yeah.
And if I don't get drafted, I can get a lot of money too. So when I finish college, if I got bills, I can pay them all. I might get them paid before I even leave. So to me, it's good. I don't know if it's good for society.
It's hard as a fan,
but
like because your player's leaving from one team. It's hard.
Yeah, the NFL,
the loyalty to the team isn't there for the athlete as much, which I understand. Their loyalty to themselves, I get it, but it is hard as a fan.
If you look back at coaches, some coaches used to be so hard on players, and and they could say, "If you don't want to do it my way, you can leave," and they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Now they're saying, "Okay, because I got that 10,000 over here."
Yeah.
And you know what? Give me 10,000 anyway. So I'm leaving.
Yeah, the crazy thing is it's in millions too.
I know.
I mean, they're making.
I didn't want to go say million, but I know it's where did they get that money to give these kids? And is it hurting the college revenue? And if it is, are colleges getting upset because it's hurting their revenue because the kids are getting it?
Yeah.
And poor coaches.
Yeah,
it's always been the NFL. It's always been professional sports. Situation where I don't want to name a player, but a coach comes to a kid, or a man on his team, and is telling them what to do, and the poor player is making more money than the coach.
Yeah.
And the player has a relationship with the general manager, and he goes to this coach, man.
Yeah, it's hard on the coaches.
It's hard on the coaches. Now it's getting hard on the college coaches.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard. I know. I think sometimes something's going to change, maybe, but I don't know what.
Well, and something will probably change. But just think about it. Are they not giving the money to the college because they want to sponsor the college, or where are they getting this money to give to kids to come to another school? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, or where the college is getting all this money before?
Right.
Right.
I didn't realize how important just college football was until COVID. I didn't realize college football is driving the schools' revenue so much.
That's because they got 50,000 people in there at $10. Look how much they made even though they lost the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely.
Look how much money they made even though they lost the game, and then on top of that, they're selling all this uniforms and stuff in there while they're playing the game,
right.
And they're making more money off the players back in the day.
Whether they win or
lose. When they lose, they're still making money, and so now the idea was, we got other things we can help other programs that need help them buy uniforms, and that's why COVID probably hurt a little bit.
Yeah. How about you growing up playing sports? What kind of injuries did you have?
Well, I never had any major injuries till I got to college. The first injuries I really had was shin splints. Oh, they were so painful. And then later learned that was because I had flat feet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so painful. I just fought through it, but sometimes I had to stop and practice and go on the bench and prop my feet up and then I go back, but it hurt so bad. But I didn't get a major injury until I got to college. I had sprained ankles and sprained fingers because you catching the ball wrong and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But we never stopped playing.
Yeah.
I limped around there if it was a sprained ankle. But in college, I broke my kneecap. Well, I never had a major injury besides I also ran track in college. So I would pull my hamstring trying to stay up with an All-American jump poke. And I would just try harder and harder, and I was pulling my hamstrings all the time.
Oh my God.
So I never had any major injuries until I got to college, and I didn't have any injuries while I was playing basketball, baseball, or soccer. One summer, Coach Mike McGlinchey, if you ever heard of him, he was a wrestling coach and a baseball coach. He encouraged me to play baseball because he thought that was my career in baseball. He got me into this summer baseball league in Wilmington, Delaware, and it was kind of cool because there's some ex-professionals there playing, and it was a really good league. And I played all summer long. I lived in Philadelphia and trained down every day. And my cousin's sister, Diana Mitchell, she was lived in Wilmington, so she would meet me at the train station and go play baseball, watch me, and take me back to the train station. I'd go back to Philadelphia to that summer to my brother, I call him, Ronald Mitchell. And I come back to college my last senior year. I was ready for baseballs. And as we drive in, I see some of the guys out there playing basketball at Salisbury. And I said, man, I can't wait to get out there. I haven't seen them all summer. Mm-hmm. And we threw all the stuff in my room and everything. And I said, I see you, bro. I'm going there and play basketball. I put my shoes on. And I lived on the first floor, me and my friend. We were out in the window, had them back up there. They were throwing stuff in the window. And I put my shoes on. All right, see y'all. And I'm running down the hall, and they were still putting stuff in the room. Because I'm a senior now. I can get everything when I come back.
Yeah.
You got to worry about where
Yeah.
So I go out there, and somebody lets me into the game. And very first day back to college, senior year. And I come down a couple times, and this one time I went up for a layup, somebody undercut me. Like I'm trying to lay up, here's the basket. And they came from where you're at, undercut me, turned me this way. So the very first thing that hit the ground was asphalt. Outside was my knee. Bang, like that. Boy, snapped my kneecap right in half. And so that was my first major injury, but luckily I had except we had no cell phones back then.
Yeah.
I saw my parents. I saw my mother and my aunt go by. I waved to her mom right there trying to get to the basketball game, and of course no cell phones, so they got to wait till they get all the way home to call him and tell him, before you got out of Salisbury, he was in the hospital.
Oh wow.
And so they wired my kneecap. That same wire is still in my knee.
Oh, it's still there.
Still there. So that was the first major injury I had.
So you out for the season?
I was out for the season, but I was lucky. You heard about when one door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
Well, I think I got lucky because not with a broken kneecap.
Right.
But I had a great trainer. It was a Hunter Smith. He ended up being a trainer for professional football, Indianapolis Colts, and but it gave me an opportunity. I became a student assistant. I started assisting with the intramural program at Salisbury. So I started finding out what his job was, communicating with the student officials, learning the rules, and got to have this equipment. Little did I know that was almost what my eventual job was.
Yeah.
So that I look back at that, and I put that on my application when I first sent resume, when I first applied, that I had that position. And the other thing was, as far as coaching and everything, Coach Lambert, now I can't play basketball. Coach Lambert gave me an opportunity to become a student assistant basketball coach.
Oh, great.
So and back then, a lot of the colleges, back then, colleges, freshmen only played basically a freshman team or a JV team in college. So there were always two basketball teams, the regular varsity team and the junior varsity in college. So I got a chance to coach a few of those junior varsity teams by myself. while I was in college. I got a coach against assistant coach against a traveling visiting Yugoslavian team. So that was good experience for me learning how to coach teams by myself. So that was also a blessing in disguise. I learned how to get the feeling of being hollered at, and treating the kids, parents, guys the same, you know, like they were human beings.
Sure.
And being hard on them at the same time. And then I'm going to the lunch or dinner with them.
Yeah.
As a student.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that was the thing I said, the blessing that I got from having injury. My other injuries were where I was working at the rec center. Broken Achilles tendon, broken ankle, all kinds of stuff I did at the rec center.
So how was it? I always say to people, like, even with my injuries, probably affected me more mentally than physically, just because I didn't think I was going to return to like work or the activity I was doing. How about you? Did it affect you both ways, or?
Well,
I mean, you were senior year. Initially
I think
can't
senior
play.
year, my main thing was, just learning how to walk again. So I was just happy that I could walk again because, it's a blessing that I had all these friends. They would take my books to class because I'm still going to class on crutches. Now you got these wheels. You can wheel yourself with one leg and go to different places by yourself. And I'm walking all across campus with crutches. So it affected me a little bit, but I still did everything else. Having a good time at college, going to the games, but I was just on crutches.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play. So that was the main thing. My other injuries that I got off when I started working for the rec center affected me more because I wasn't trying to be on a competitive team. I was competing in different leagues, but when I first got my ankle Achilles ready, rehabbed, I went out there to try to play basketball, but I was worried about somebody touching me so much.
Did you tear it?
Yeah, I tore it.
Oh, so you had did you have a surgery on it?
Yeah.
That's a long rehab.
Yeah, it's a long rehab, and it's kind of overlapped. They pulled it together and overlapped it. And I was so nervous about somebody hitting me, that eventually I stopped playing in competition. So it did affect me once I got it rehabbed, and it took a long while. And I never really went back to basketball. That's probably why I gained so much weight.
I think it's hard. Like, I think you see that with even professional sports. Like, when someone's injured, even though all the tests show that everything's healed, there's I mean, no one wants to go through that rehab again. How was your rehab? Like, we were talking earlier about with your kneecap, your patella fracture. You were describing that.
Well, that one was it was painful. I mean, you're a college kid, and your life changes. My rehab was like 6:30 in the morning. What college kid wants to get up 6:30 in the morning to be somewhere? Which means I got to get up 5:30, 5:45 to get over there on crutches. So your life changes, and the rehab was so painful. I never really wanted to go, and one day I didn't go, and I was in the bed, and the door opened, and I didn't know who. I thought it was one of my other roommates, and it was trainer Hunter Smith said, "Get up, Hondo, let's go."
Oh my God.
I went, "What are you doing? Let's go. You're supposed to be over there at 6:30. You're almost 45 minutes late. Let's go." I said, "All right, let me put my clothes on." "No, you ain't put no clothes on. Put these shorts on. Let's go."
Oh my!
He marching me like I'm a bad dog over there.
Because it wasn't
walking behind me. Let's keep going.
You were going to you were going to him for the trainer as the trainer. It wasn't like you were going to a formal physical therapy.
No.
He was the one taking care of you.
Well, he did all athletes on campus.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as big as it is today. Where eventually, okay, I do much as I can, but I got to send you right to a rehab facility. but he did all the physical therapy, and it was so painful. I had this boot that they put on the end of my leg. My leg when I came out of the cast, it was completely straight. I thought I would never bend my leg again, and he, that he gave me this empty boot to hang off the edge of the bed. First, it was just hanging my leg off the edge of the bed. It was the bench. It was so painful. I would holler, please, please. And he finally come and, stop it. And then he had this crank. He had me lay on my stomach and hook my foot up, and he's standing beside me, and he's cranking my knee to bend, trying to make it bend up. And I'm like, stop. I still feel the pain. I said, how far did it bend? He says, about a half an inch. I said, what, half an inch? I thought, oh, God.
That's a painful rehab.
I got a long way to go. It's like a half an inch. All that pain. It's God. And then I guess I got where I could bend it a little bit. And he called my roommate over to my rehab. He says, I want you to take Hondo out on the track. I said, for what? He says, I want him to make you run around that track. I said, I can't run around. Well, that's why I got him. He's going to help me. So we limping around the track the whole time, and we get one. I said, oh, thank God we finished. Ron said, oh, no, Hondo. He told me to go around there 2 times. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
He doesn't know if he went around there 2 times. He says, man, come on, you got to walk. Come on, you got to go. And that was part of my rehab. He made him make me run around the track, and I could barely walk.
Oh my gosh, that's like so harsh.
But now that was Ron's job. Yeah, want to run around here now. He's like, hey, come on, Hondo, we got to go. You got to go. It's 12 o'clock now. He said, go 2 times a day, and I ain't off. I got class. I got practice. You got to go.
Well, that's hard.
It's making me go. But thank God for those 2 guys, and they motivate me enough so I can walk again.
Yeah, and you're doing well.
So,
how about going through all these things? I know even reading some things in your book. Are you religious? Do you pray or?
I pray every night.
Yeah. It's
funny. I can say my prayers right now, which includes my entire family growing up, and I pray for each every family member. Like, I have a large family. I have 2 aunts and uncles, and I would always I go through the whole ritual every night, and I can fall asleep and wake up and say, God, I didn't get to do this, and I finish it. So I would say, God bless my Aunt Mildred and her fiance Woody. God bless her children, Larry Jr., Leo, Missy, Vantina, Poppy, Tina, and Apples, little Leon, and Brenda. So I do the whole family. That was just one family. Every night.
That's great.
These are my prayers. So, of course, yes. I try to, God is good.
Yeah, it gets you through some things, right?
That's all I can say, God is good. Gets you through a lot.
So what you've been through so much with Ocean City. I mean, a lot of people know you in Ocean City.
Yes.
What are you hoping to see in the future for Ocean City, like with whether it's youth sports or just Ocean City in general, the community?
Well, I think that if there was another facility, which they do have a good outdoor facility down on 3rd and 4th Street, where you can walk and more recreation. You got pickleball right there, new basketball court. I think the more facilities you can get, the better for the youth. Just not a lot of room in Ocean City to grow. That's the worst thing. It's just a barrier island.
Yeah.
You can keep improving what you got, but you just can't put too much more in the same place, But I think more tournaments will continue to be here, but to come, which increases revenue here in Ocean City and Berlin. But some tournaments just won't come because they're really large, and our area can't handle them. So, and as you mentioned, they're expensive to come, but if it was coming to the Ocean City area, there would be a lot more generations of hotels and restaurants amusements and attractions. But you have to do what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a tournament about a month ago, and it was for just girls lacrosse, and there were 500 teams.
500 teams. See, those teams
500.
Those teams can't come to this area, and because they're just not. You can't accommodate them.
Yeah.
You can't accommodate them, and if you do accommodate them, it becomes such a headache. You have to use facilities in Salisbury, Snow Hill, everything has to. Ocean City and Brill, it has to fit just perfect rather than having everyone in one area.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit right, now you got big problems.
So when my two boys were little, I was really excited, thinking there was going to be a YMCA coming.
Right. I heard about the YMCA, and I got to ask to try to help with that a little bit, and I did, but it never came. I wanted to come. It wasn't a rec center, but it was another facility for the kids to participate, because it really is not enough room for everybody.
Yeah.
Because programs are, just for example, and I'm sure, I know this is true for Worcester County Rec, Ocean Pines, for sure Ocean City, that all these sports teams, sports camps during the summer are now filled up like in February.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they are. I mean, my daughter has. We have to do that with my daughter.
With a waiting list of 50 and 100 kids, they can't even get in. And the summer's not even. And you would think, okay, this summer, what do you want to do? Well, this summer is January and February.
Yeah.
If you don't get in January and February,
you're in trouble.
This summer you're gonna be home.
Yeah.
Because you can't get in, and if you're on that waiting list, you can forget it. You're just gonna forget it.
Because it's like you said, like a YMCA could be like another outlet instead of them being on their electronics.
And Ocean Pines is probably full. I know Snow Hill gets full. It's just Worcester County gets full. It's really attractive. It's just, it's almost like a babysitter for you, doing it. Much cheaper.
Absolutely.
Much cheaper, and the kids are having fun. They can go with their friends, and then of course if they don't get in, they're all upset.
Yeah. Particularly if their friends got in.
If their friends got in, they're all upset, and just you can't expand too much, or you might get yourself in trouble monitoring all those kids. Everybody goes to the maximum that they can do.
Yeah.
But just needs more room.
What advice would you give the younger children growing up? That are, you've accomplished a lot through your career and still are.
Well, I would say, you mean ones that are graduating, or just
ones that are yeah, like I remember your speech. Your speech was great when you did the commencement speech at Decatur.
Well,
there's so much pressure on them these days.
Well, I would say set the goals, to decide what you want to do, and set your goals, and just to remember that goals can change. That's okay. So you might choose something, and all of a sudden, like in college, you major in something. You go in as a freshman majoring in something, and you said, this is not what I want to do, and you change your major. So don't be upset if you feel like you got to give up if you didn't make your first goal. Change those goals and do something else. But one thing you can't afford to do, especially in life, is give up. You can't afford to stop, because you become an adult now, and people can't take care of you. You got to be able to fend for yourself. So you got to find something that you can do and change your goals and move forward.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, what inspired you to do your podcast and write your book?
Well, the podcast I started just as I was retiring, also because it gave me an outlet to stay in touch with sports and recreation, because I was interviewing and mostly people that were already in some kind of sport, or they were professionals in recreation. And two of the main things I would ask them is, did they play sports when they were young, and how has sports helped you in your job that you're doing right now? And it's vital. it's interesting to hear how they're using sports in their work as like teamwork, when you're working together with different people working together. It's like, man, it's the same thing you learn when you're playing sports, and that's the same thing they're doing when they're working. So,
Because even like we were talking earlier before that we started, being on a team is like can be a simulation of a workplace.
it is.
Getting along with other people. You have a boss who's the coach.
Yep, that's exactly. And when we were, when I was at the rec center, I said the same thing about school. So you have all these different things you have to follow while you're in school, and we tried to do the same thing at the rec center. I always said this: the rec center is your classroom outside of school.
Yeah, yeah.
So now your job is your sports team outside of sports.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. And this book here, Defying Expectations.
Yes.
What inspired you for this?
Well, I've always, my first last year, I knew it was going to be last year, and I told him that, I kept saying I'm going to retire, and when I retire, I want to write a book about my experiences. I want to write a book about me growing up on the eastern shore of Maryland, and how people sometimes would say that success is how you grew up, where you lived at, and I wanted to prove them wrong, and try to be successful on my own. And then when it came to sports, of course, if you're too short, you'll never be able to play these different sports.
Yeah.
I wanted to prove them wrong, so I wanted to write how I did prove them wrong, and then I wanted to write a second about my experiences at the Ocean City Record Parks in Ocean City, working all those years. But eventually I combined everything, and it was really fun because as I was writing things down, and a lot of things I put in my book was from work. I'd write them down, and after a while, my co-workers were coming to me and saying, "Hondo, here, you got to write this, you got to put this in your book." I said, "Well, what happened?" "Well, this happened." I'm writing, "Okay, what else?" So they were coming to me with things that happened at the rec center, because there's a lot of things. That's why I'm thinking about. As I'm trying to write my next book, I seem like I got 4 different books before I had 2.
You had so much information.
And I combined them, and it's 4 or 5 different things. As I start writing, then I might have to combine them all to be one book. But just for one example was injury. I hurt my Achilles tendon, right? And I had rehabbed, and I'm got a little soccer clinic out there. I got 40 some little 4 and 5 year olds, and I'm a basketball clinic, and I'm showing them how to dribble and everything, and they're following me. It's like follow the leader, and they're all doing the same things I do, and I take a step, and my Achilles gives out on me, and I'm like, I fall. I'm like, oh God, I hit the floor.
Oh my gosh.
And when I hit the floor, I look over and I hear 40-some kids hit the floor. And I'm like, and I lay there for a second, I'm in pain. I'm like, I cannot believe this kid's doing anything like that. And I get up, and when it's over, some of the parents says, what was that drill? That wasn't nothing in basketball, Hondo. What were you doing? I said, yes. You ever heard about a charge when you're playing basketball? That's what you do. You fall back, it's a charge. Somebody ran into you.
It's a charge.
And they get a foul on them. Oh, okay. But there's so many stories just like that.
Little did they know you injured your.
I was in
you
so
were
much
in
pain.
surgery.
Oh my goodness, man! Those kids loved it too. They're like, "When we gonna do the charge again?" I wouldn't do it at the end. We'll do the charge again.
How about what? So, what other goals do you have? It seems like you're going through a lot. You seem busy.
Well,
even you're retired from your job, but you're busy doing so many things.
Yeah, like I got a big golf tournament this weekend at Ocean Resorts for the Greater Minority Scholarship Committee, which raises funds for graduating students from Stephen Decatur High School. And then on August 17th, we're giving away a friend of mine, Sean Harris, Dr. Sean Harris now, from Westcliff University. He grew up right on Branch Street down here. His grandmother still lives there. He's coming back, and we're giving away 100 basketballs to the kids in Berlin that use those basketball courts. Because I kept going by there, and I'm like, oh, they're finally using the courts. I see the lighted courts. I see them out there at night when I come through. I said, but I see like 15 of them, and they got 2 basketballs.
Oh, yeah.
I think kids need their own basketball. I need more basketballs out there. And so that's what we're going to give away. Hopefully our kids show up. Hopefully we can give away 100 basketballs.
That's great.
But I guess the only other thing is I am involved with, I think, 9 community groups, which I got to slow down. Before my wife gets super mad with me. Yeah, I started to when I was retiring, I think I was going to the Ocean City Berlin Optimists Club for the last time to ask for money for sports teams. You see the Optimists, soccer, all the different teams, and I said, okay. Well, after the speech, I asked them, they said, okay, Hondo, we're going to give you the money, but you've been coming to us for asking us for money over 30-some years. I said, yes, been 30 years. I said, so we heard you're retired. I'm like, yes, I'm retired. And they're like, okay, good. Now look, since you're retiring, when are you going to join the Optimists? And that night, there was no way that I could say, no, I don't want to join. I'm retired, to a place that they've helped me for over 30-some. He specifically said that. Yeah. We've helped me for over 30-some years. Yeah. When are you going to join us? I'm like, well, I guess I'm joining you tonight. So that was the very first one. And then after a while, everybody that's involved with something, like from the Art League to scholarship committee to the hospital, the Board of Education, they all kept coming. I know you're retired. Look, can you help us out, serve on the board? I'm like, I guess I could do a little bit. After a while, I would say, no, look, I'm on this board here, such in the hospital. I'm on this board here, and I can't do that with it. And specifically the hospital. I'm on the, the foundation board. I can't do another one at the hospital. Oh, it's a corporation. You don't have to do too much. You can do that. Okay. Now I'm on 2 boards at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
But, they just kept growing. And then my wife said, you just can't say no.
Yeah, well, I mean, they want you. You've like grown up. You grow up here. You know the area. You're, you know so many people.
Yeah, that's.
You're influential.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, but thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything, and I look forward to your next book, which is out when?
I have no idea.
If you guys want a really great read, Defying Expectations, you can get it on Amazon. It's really good. It's about Hondo, some of the things he went through growing up, sports, and just some life here on the Eastern Shore.
And that book, because here's another reason why I'm so slow to get this next book out. That book, I call it book signings, keynote speakers, book club talks, meet and greets opportunities. That book has led to me to having 68 of those opportunities, going and speaking and talking. And I got 2 more lined up, so I have, after next month, I have 70.
Wow. So
I can't get this book done because I'm always doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm always at one of these community foundation or community organization meetings.
Well, thanks, Hondo.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.